Hey, welcome. Hi, everybody. My name's Ashley Thomas. I'm the festival manager at Chattanooga Film Festival. And I think you all know we planned for this to go up live on YouTube right after the premiere. So everybody who watched it virtually will be able to check this out. Since we have so many of you on, I would love it if we could go around and kind of say your name and what you did on the film, just so everybody knows whose face is on when they're talking. So Andrew, if you want to start us off.
Yeah, Andrew Zappin, writer-director.
Hi, I'm DJ Qualls. I am actor, executive producer.
Hi, Margaret Cho, actor. I also tried to write a segue right in the film.
I'm Marisé Álvarez. I'm an actor and I play Oralee.
And I am Maya Eshet, and I am also an actor. And I play Micheline, Mitch, whatever, however you want to pronounce it.
I'm Johnno Wilson. I played Digger.
I'm Dave Phillips. I was the producer, and I have a secret cameo at the end as well.
I'm River Jose, and I played Lonnie.
That's right.
Hey, buddy.
I'm Shaheen, and I'm the director of photography.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. First of all, obviously, we love the film, and we really appreciate that you were willing to premiere with us. We're honored to be holding your premiere. And so I wanted to ask a few questions. I guess, River, since we have you here now, do you mind if I ask you a question? So I wanted to ask you, how did you get involved here? Were you inspired by somebody or something to start acting? How did you come to be in the film?
Well, your brother's an actor.
Yeah, is that your older brother?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So did you do like school plays first?
I think I did acting first.
Well, we loved you in the movie. You did a really great job. You should be very proud of yourself.
Thank you.
Did you have a favorite memory from set?
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
I liked when we went to the beach.
Was that a fun day?
Churros.
Oh, yeah. The churros.
Oh, yeah.
That was my favorite day, too.
Can't go wrong with churros. Well, Andrew, this is your first feature, right?
Yeah. First narrative feature, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How did it come into being? How did you get to make this movie?
Well, I'll try to keep this as short as possible. I formed a small company with DJ years and years ago after a bunch of things that I had written had got optioned and kind of down the road and then didn't come together. And after financing and lots of heartache and that sort of thing. And then we had just had a project fall apart for that company. And then we've kind of we asked ourselves, well, what could we do that we could afford to do with a financier we were working with? And we were like, nothing. We can't afford to do anything. And so I wrote this and then we got the first budget made and they said, well, we can't afford to do this either. And so, and that's where, DJ and I started to look for a producer that can maybe help us back into a budget that was quite low to make, any film, let alone a film that is this stylized. And so that was David. They had met years before, and David had produced a lot of films in the modified low budget space, right, David? And then, he figured it out, wasn't easy, but.
So the role was written for DJ from the start? It
was. Yeah, I'd written things. I'd always wanted, DJ and I did my first thing with DJ. It was a short called The Company Man. And we became very, very close friends after that. And I was always trying to write things for them. And invariably they were a little bit too weird or, when this idea sort of, I plucked it out of the ether or wherever it came from. There was no question that it was, going to be for DJ. So, yeah.
Thanks, Andrew.
I was gonna say, DJ, do you see
And
yourself?
he's I mean, like, I want to say one more thing about DJ is like
Please.
DJ. I feel like, I mean, he's obviously a well-known actor and a very appreciated one, but I think he's like one of the most underutilized actors in the business, and he's often been, not always, used to do a certain thing. And I think in this film, he's just so terrific. And I've done anything right was getting involved with him, because I knew he'd
Thanks,
be great.
buddy.
Yeah.
That's very, very kind.
DJ,
Ooh, touched me there, actually. You got me going, Andrew.
Can you talk about sort of inhabiting this character? Was he on the page this way? How, was it something you guys developed together through pre-production, during the shoot?
Andrew is very specific. He's a very specific writer. He had written something for me years ago called Big Arm, which was also equally specific, but I'm too old to do it. We hope to do that movie in the future. No, he agonizes over everything. It's his beauty and his burden. And it will always be this way. He will always be in agony. And I just know I love him for it. And I love him in spite of it. But when I read it, I knew, the thing is, I have freedom to inhabit. I had freedom to inhabit the character. I'm working with a piece of merchandise, and I know how I say things and what my body does and what my voice does. But he wrote it for me, and he equally knows what my body and my voice does, because he's on the other. He's here looking back at me. I knew when I met Andrew. So was it Sharon Bialy, Andrew, who introduced us? So yeah. I was in Chicago visiting a friend like years ago. What year was that?
Like 2009,
2009. So I get an email out of the blue from Sharon Bialy, a very famous casting director. She went on to cast me in Breaking Bad, I think probably as a thank you. But she sent me an email basically saying, this guy's a talent. He wrote this short for you, and if you don't do it, you're an asshole. And it's like, you have to meet with him. You've been given so many opportunities. And I'm like, you're right. You don't have to sell me. I read it. I thought it was really interesting, but it was written in a way that I knew it. And so I was like, I'll meet you for like an hour at Casa del Mar, and it was at the end of Pico. I used to live in Santa Monica. And that 1 hour meeting lasted for like 5 hours. And then we did it, and we went to Tribeca. I don't even think I collected the paycheck for that. I don't think I ever cashed the check.
$250 or something.
Yeah, I don't even think I knew. And then I knew that he would put things in development, but he went through the series of putting things in development that would fall out for reasons that were nothing to do with him. Or it was like the guy left the company, or the mandate changed, or, now everybody's doing Marvel movies or whatever it was. But they kept falling out of development. And then he was like, we should do this. And I was like, I'm not sure how to do anything. But then I had randomly also met David 26 years ago in Spain. He's friends with Paulo Costanzo, and he was on the press tour for my first movie, Road Trip. And back in the day, you went all over the world. Like, we went to MTV Hamburg, we were in Madrid, we were all over the place. And we met, and then I followed his career over the years. And I was like, I think I have the guy for this, who can help us make this. And boy, did he. David, I love you. Thank you so much. You really, we couldn't have done it without you. For real.
Cheers, man. Cheers. And no, it was an honor. I remember when I got the script, I was like, this is something special. It's something different. Like, you read a lot of things, and then a lot of things are typical or whatever. And this was just so different and had such a voice. And then I met Andrew, and he was great, and he was particular, and he had a vision, and he had everything he wanted to do. And then, of course, working with you, DJ, finally, after 26 years, we actually worked together. So here we are.
And we both still look pretty damn good. I'm proud of us for that.
I feel really good about this. Yeah, this is great.
But it was cool because it was this, and then Shaheen came onto the picture, and it was really a situation of who knows who. And, shooting in LA is very hard at this budgetary level, very hard. But we knew we had to do it here because all of our favorites were here and all the people who knew other people were here.
Yeah.
And there is the beautiful thing about Los Angeles is, LA gets so much crap, but we're in a city of triers. People come here to try to do something. And that is beautiful and it's contagious. It's sad that it's starting to diminish. You will pry LA out of my cold, dead hands. Like, I am supposed to be here. It gave me everything I ever wanted, and it still has more to give us. But it was really great. And we brought Shaheen in. Shaheen, I met you through your wife, right?
That's right. Yeah.
That's right.
In Buster's.
Yeah. I did Buster's Malhart with Rami Malek, and his wife directed.
Yeah.
And then Shaheen was our DP on that. And I was like, do you know who's good? And it was Shaheen, and he is good.
Yeah. Phenomenal.
Thank you. Yeah, that was.
No, please tell us about like you coming in and working on that, like, because it is really, it's a different kind of story, but it's also like visually very different. Like, it's very unique. And I wanted to ask about the look, how you shot it, but also just generally like the whole art, like production design, even those little like VFX elements, like all of that. Was that, Andrew, I hear you're very exacting. That was all came from you at the beginning, or how did we get here?
I mean, it's obviously a collaboration. A lot of talented and creative people did a lot of really hard work. So, I mean, yeah, a lot of, the idea, the aesthetic of the film is very much, I think, implied in the script. But it came very quickly in my conversations with like Shaheen and our production designer, Austin. I had collected a bunch of images and references in art and film and music that, we kind of had developed a shorthand with. And then, on top of that, the sort of visual style of the movie, we had a 17-day principal photography schedule for a 118-page maximalist script. It was unquestionably overwritten. So all that is to say that, I came up with a lot of sort of ideas and very specific ideas for a kind of expressive camera. But then when you realize you have 17 days and that machine moves slowly, very slowly. I knew we have a great cast. And so, I mean, Shaheen, you can speak more to this, but I think we just decided that, it'd end up kind of being shot in tableaus, and we would allow the performances to do the work, and where there were opportunities to move the camera or put it in a weird spot, then we would do that. But we kept it really, really simple. And also it's so heightened that I think that you don't want to overdo the look, because then it's hard to connect with. And so I think it was finding a balance. But anyway, Shaheen, I don't know what you would.
Yeah, no, I was excited because when I got to work with DJ on Buster's, I remember Sarah and I thinking like, my God, when we finally met you and we worked with you, we're like, it would be so cool to do a feature with like a whole other feature with DJ and stuff. And then when I got this kind of connection to you in the script, and then I read it, I was like, oh my God, is like totally like a dream come true, because it really felt like that's the kind of feature I want to make with DJ and with you, Andrew. And and it definitely, the script, it's so, I never read anything like it. It's so specific and so heightened, and so I was excited to kind of dive into this world with Andrew and everybody. Obviously, in those early weeks of pre-pro, just shot listing and stuff. It was good. It was a good exercise for us. And then, in the production and with the constraints and stuff, we kind of like felt like, okay, we can throw all that away and now do what we're seeing, like what respond to the situation that we had. And we, you know, with budgetary constraints and all that stuff, we still managed to get a pretty decent kit package and really amazing crew and gaffer and key grip and stuff. And so it was, and shooting in LA, like that felt like totally strange for me because everything, all the features that I've done have been outside of LA, like in other states and that have like the tax incentive or, you know, like other countries that have the tax incentive. So it was like extra special to be in LA. And then another layer was like, we got such unique weather. I remember it was like when we shot it, we got it, which added, I felt like it added so much scope. Like it was like cold and rainy for like many weeks when we were like in Evil Lou's world. And then it was like sunshiny and like warm and breezy when it was, you know, Oralee and Ulli Love. And it was just like weirdly, you know, mystical experience. And yeah, I look back at that experiences like very, very fondly and stuff. And then of course afterwards, you know, Andrew would be calling me up like 2 weeks. Hey, I need a shot of like a book falling into like a black abyss or oblivion. Can I come over and we do that shot? I'm like, yeah, of course. That sounds cool. And then we figure out we come, you know, and with less time constraints and whatnot. And we just like play around until we figured out how to get that shot and we do that. And I'm like, okay, that was cool. And then like literally 2 weeks later, hey, I need a shot of like DJ reflected in the side view mirror, smoking a cigarette. Everything was like hyper specific. And I'm like, yeah, let's do that. So, and this lasted for like a couple of years. I feel, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I mean, with the joke was that like his garage became Talpa Street Studios because we must have shot. This is an exaggeration, but like 10% of the movie.
There were like little
it was like
bits
cheating.
that connected things so beautifully. And then I would see the cut and I'm like, oh my God, like that was genius. Like putting that
I don't think 10% is an exageration. I think you're right. We shot a lot at Shaheen's garage.
The first thing to know with a movie like this are the textural and stylistic things on a 17-day shoot. That's the first thing to go. And during the shoot, you know, I was concerned about that stuff and I was seeing a lot of it go. And, but I had faith we'd be able to, you know, I had come up with an idea, but then, you know, to have so much buy-in from Shaheen and then later from Austin and Marisé and DJ and Maya. I mean, like, yeah.
And Margaret, I got to be your hand.
And then Margaret too, because I went over. Margaret was kind enough to have me over to the house so I could do some like loop some sound. You know, it was like, I mean, yeah, it was wild.
I wanted to ask. Okay, so 17 days. That's insane. Did you guys have rehearsals before? Like how did
there was like no I mean, we kind of showed up and made the movie, and that wasn't because that's what we wanted to do. I'm a planner. I didn't get, you know, I would love to have seen the sets. I would love to have seen any of the props, which I, you know, would write into the script what the props were and how they look. But you know, the nature of the production and the amount of resources we have, you know, you kind of have to decide whether you want to make the movie or want to make the movie, you know, the way it is or the way it can be, or you're going to make it the way you want it to be. And so ultimately, you know, we wanted to make the movie. And so, you know, you just ended up kind of having to sort of have a quiet freak out or something when something didn't appear how you imagined it and you didn't know how to shoot it anymore. And then you're like, well, here's an opportunity to do something as interesting or better. And, you know, you just kind of hang on for dear life and trust the people around you because they're all like extremely talented and they carry you. And so, you know, yeah, anyway.
Well,
Matt's
we're
here.
very fortunate to have. Yeah, I was going to say, Matt, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi. Sorry, the bridge went out at the spillway. I had to go all the way around. Oh, it's a long story. Good to see you all.
No, welcome. I wanted to add, since we have so much of the cast here, would love to hear from some of you guys how you got involved in the project and what your experiences were like, working with Andrew, working on a production like this. I don't know. Who wants to start? Somebody take it away.
I can start. DJ and I we did a game show where we won the family.
Yes,
jointly.
we did.
We helped win a family $20,000, and it was so satisfying. And ever since then, we had kept in touch and we wanted to work together. And so he sent me the script, and I thought it was so different. Like, it was just so dynamic and unique, and it was something that perfectly fit DJ's energy. And I think it really spoke to you as like a singular talent. And I wanted to meet Andrew, and I wanted to get into this world. And so I came and I learned to ride a Segway it didn't end up happening because I fell and my dog got very upset.
Yeah, that was a scary moment.
When I fell on the Segway, so we decided not to use that. But yeah, I had a great time. I think the film is so, what I haven't seen it, of course, but I think it's so surreal and so funny and cool and different. And all the elements that you're talking about really support that. Like, being able to add inserts as story development is I buy it, because this is a world where this can happen. It's a fantastical kind of thing where it would totally make sense to have these different, like, very quirky elements. So I really enjoyed it. Because of the rain, there was a lot of potholes to get to the studio. That street was covered in potholes. I've never had a more potholey experience.
It's a very neglected part of town.
It's but the studio, and all of it, we all kind of like shot in kind of one big room, but every set looks so different. And I really enjoyed getting to work DJ and getting to meet Johnno, who is so funny, and also getting to work with Kathleen Wilhoit. She's not here, but she's amazing. And also my old theater teacher, Michael McShane, from my teenage years. So it was great to reconnect.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So he's really special to me. But he's somebody that I have followed since I was literally a child. And he's quite an amazing improv actor and comedian and, real icon in theater in San Francisco.
Yeah.
So I loved it.
Yeah. We actually had Michael down to the garage at Catalpa Street to do some work. And he went off the cuff on some things, and we were just, oh my God, he's so funny.
He's so brilliant.
Just incredible guy. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I can pop in. Matt, Malloy, and I had actually done a show called I Love That For You together. And we became golf buddies. And he said, Johnno, I think you'd actually be good for this movie that I'm doing. And Andrew is directing and wrote it. And he's a wonderful guy. And you guys should meet. And I think, Andrew, you and I got coffee before I even auditioned for it. And it was kind of the same thing that DJ was saying. We sat down for a coffee, and it ended up being several hours of just talking. And then I auditioned, and I remember reading Digger's lines and then thinking, oh, Matt thinks I'm good for this a-hole. But it worked out. And then, getting to set and, I grew up on Margaret's stand-up, and Road Trip it's one of the greats, and getting to know everybody, and Roadhouse with Kathleen. My God, I've seen it about 1,000 times. So it was not only was everybody so accomplished and talented, but it did just have this. There was a real grind, and I've always said when you can be a part of a project that really feels like it's a team effort, it's always the best. It always kind of, at the end, you feel so accomplished. And so, you know, I'm so excited to see it. I loved working with all of these people, and I have Matt Malloy, Dr. Pfeffer, to thank for introducing me to these guys.
I want 10%.
Well, I spent it already, so unfortunately, you're not going to.
I have to agree with Johnno. Just that the energy you get to a set where there's no one's here for money. It's just they're just passionate about having fun and doing something unique, and that was very present in both this film and the short film we did together years ago. That was just unique to the core and specific, and I'm so excited to see this in its entirety. But I just had a blast. It was fun. It was a rare opportunity for me, because I really am Johnny hired on Tuesday to work on Thursday. But we got together in your apartment for like 3 hours. That was the only time I've ever sat with a director for 3 hours before filming. Like, wait, what do we want? How fast do you want this guy to talk? Like, you got to plow through this, right? And Andrew's like, yep, nope. And that gave me legs to stand on. But it was just a pleasure to be around people that are that passionate and clear and energized. Someone's car alarm's going off.
Likewise.
I'm going to jump in and say that I didn't know anyone. I just got, hi, Nikki. Hi, viewers, Mom Nikki. I got the audition through the agency, but then I got so many scripts that when I read this, I was like, who's this guy? Who's this guy who wrote this? And it really surprised me the way it was written, the details, the uniqueness of the story. So yeah, I was super interested. And then we had a call and it started, I don't know, like for an hour. And Andrew told me, I'm married to a Puerto Rican. I'm like, oh, so you know, let's do this. And then I heard about the incredible cast and crew. Shaheen was incredible to work with everyone. It was such a pleasure. That was like, and it reminded me a lot of home. Like here, for me to make films is to work with friends and just make it happen, no matter how many hours, no matter how many visits to Shaheen's garage without the agency or anyone knowing, you know, it's like, I can't say anything. So it was like really working like in back home with friends. So it was a true pleasure to work with Andrew. And he's so specific that we were like an incredible, like the chemistry with DJ since the beginning was so much fun. He's so fast. I was impressed with everyone. But then with Andrew, it was more just letting him know that we're good. It's going to be okay, because he always finds something. He's so specific. But I think that's the beauty of the film, that he's an artist. Like he is like, you know, they call cinema the seventh art. So that's Andrew. He has like a playlist. He has like photo references, books, everything. So he's really like an artist. And I understand why he's so specific. But that's the beauty of the film, I think.
I mean, it's a romp through Andrew's brain. But the beautiful thing about that is we get to leave. He has to live there. I can't imagine what it would be like to be trapped in there.
But you know, it was also so fun because yes, Andrew is very specific, but he also allowed everybody to play. And you know, there are scenes like me and DJ when I'm getting in his face and getting really intense, and we would be kind of playing during those, you know, those intense scenes we would start to break out and laugh. So it was like, it was just a great combination of all those different aspects that make it like a really fun, intense experience.
Johnno, when you slid across that car, I'll never forget it. I still laugh about it. Me and Marisé laughed so fucking hard.
I was like, I can do this. Like, I can definitely do this.
Oh, God, yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up because you said you're such a planner. I wanted to ask, was there anything, especially on such a tight schedule, that, like you said, didn't you realized wasn't going to go according to plan, but ended up being sort of a happy accident, like something that maybe wasn't planned for that ended up in the finished film?
Well, every day, something drastically changed. But, there were things like I had planned, Shaheen will remember this, I had planned like a whole operatic, I don't want to give this away, but they remember the script, like of the black goo, operatic black goo moment at the end of the movie, and 120 frames a second with goo going everywhere, people running, and I was going to have sparks. This town ain't big enough for the both of us playing, and it was like this whole thing, and that was like one of I don't know how many scenes that day that we had to shoot, and it was like 25 setups. And I showed up that day, and the AD was like, "You can't do this." And I was like, I looked at Shaheen, and Shaheen was like, "You can't do this." And we used to say radical positivity, and I said, "All right, I'll go figure it out." And so while everybody was eating lunch, I was like, I didn't figure it out in the moment because I was back at the beginning of the day, but we shot another scene or a couple of scenes, and then at lunch I just went near the giant trash pile behind where we were shooting and meditated and just kind of thought, well, what could we do, and the solution is in the film, and I don't think anything's lost. I think it worked well, and it also sort of leads into DJ's kind of final moment there, or whatever, the sort of a climax of the film, and he's just so spectacular that.
Thank you.
I think if anything, that now we kind of get out of the way of that. And he's so great that it whatever kind of emotional space that the film I had anticipated that the film would want for this kind of operatic moment, he fills it up and then some. So anyway,
thank you, Andrew.
Yeah,
but I mean, there's also just from a technical perspective. I mean, there were things that we had planned that didn't go to plan, that we later did another way, like the day that we're at Ugly Beach, the conversation between me and Harriet, in the jogging suits, that would have looked completely different. It needed to be bright. It needed to be sunny. Ugly Beach was an ugly day and was perfect for the funeral scene, but wouldn't have worked as well had it not. And we had bikers on the path that were yelling at us, all of that stuff. When you make a movie at this budgetary level, which I've done several times before, never in this position, never where I had skin in the game, you realize to say this: everything always works out, because it always does. In every aspect, it will work itself out. I was on a TV show, which was at the time one of the second most expensive shows ever produced. And I also saw the opposite of not having money, having too much money. Having too much money is the enemy of creativity, because no choices have to be made. Some hard choices had to be made. And I hated telling Andrew some of those choices. And, we got to go, and and everybody did. I mean, being a first-time filmmaker, or the first time doing a feature, you realize that you have to slaughter your babies daily, and many of them. And it's just the way it is. And I think when you get some money, Andrew, you're going to do great things. By the way, our next movie is less money.
Yeah. By the way, the last thing I'll say on that, and then is another moment in the film, which we just had to cut on the day and figure out, was the haircut scene, which it turned into kind of a surreal black box thing that we did in the garage.
Did we shoot that twice? Did we reshoot that twice?
No, we fixed something. It doesn't matter, but we fixed something. But we shot the bulk of it, and I just had you come back to fix fix one thing.
I think if I remember correctly, I said this: I'm not coming back to Sheen's garage. I would like my own teeth and my own hair when this is done.
Hey everybody, I'm gonna pop River off. I'm Nikki, by the way. I'm mom. I'm
Hey Nikki.
Hi,
nice to see you, Nikki.
It's so good to see you, River. You've gotten so big.
Crazy.
And somehow I look younger.
How did that happen? Give me your secret. Yeah, it was a wonderful, magical time doing this movie for us together. It was beautiful. And Marisé, oh my goodness, so good to see you guys.
So good to see you. River, you're so big.
I know, he was 7 when he made this movie. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And now he's 35.
Yeah, around there.
Take time off
Thanks
work.
for joining us. You were so great. You're going to go.
Thank you, River.
Nikki, before you go, Nikki, are you still there?
Yeah.
I just want to let you know you were as much a part of this as anybody. You're not seen on camera, but thank you so much for being there. You're one of us. We love you. And River, I love you too, brother. You're such a good actor.
I feel that way so much. My heart is with all of you and the film, and that means a lot, DJ. Thank you.
Mean it.
Yes, Nikki, you're so game. You're a super game mom.
I will never forget us walking home on the last day after he wrapped, and we were at Ugly Beach, and we were walking down the bike path, and we were holding hands, and it was his first movie, and he was attached to everybody, and I think it was unexpected for him, and we were holding hands, and is it going to embarrass you?
No.
Okay. And I could just see these tears going down his face, and my heart broke because you realize you get so tight and so close, and it was his first experience of that. And so my heart was breaking, but I was also so grateful that he got to have this experience with such wonderful people you all are.
Because River, you know that feeling that you felt when you walked away? That is the feeling of being an actor and a filmmaker. And you will feel that again and again and again for your whole life. But the beautiful thing is that life is long and your paths cross again. You will see each other again, maybe work with each other again. This keeps going and going and going. And the most beautiful part of all is that one day this movie will be out and it will be somebody at the end of somebody's hard day at work. They'll be able to pop it in and get a little laugh. We will be first dates. People meet their spouses and take them to our movie. So this goes on forever and ever and ever. It's the best job in the whole wide world, and you're a part of it. So thank you, brother.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah. Just when you think it's over, I'll probably call you to do more work on it.
I got 3 boys. They're small, medium, and large, whichever one you want. Bye, everybody. Take care.
I really appreciate it.
Bye.
I think that's the thing that everyone's touched on, and being producing this. The only way it's possible is by. It starts from the top. It starts from Andrew. It starts from DJ, and it starts with us creating an environment and us all just having fun. And you can really feel the love here. And I got to say, I'm so proud of both the film and also that I got to be a part of this. And I think it's the only way you pull off something with this kind of budget. It's exactly what Matt and Malloy said. And it's just you're a gang of people just trying to make something. You throw your heart into it and the passion. And honestly, it makes your whole life worthwhile because you were a part of something that touched people and you had a great time making. So. I hope everyone enjoys it.
Yeah, I have to add that David, he's this type of producer that he's so pro the director, the story, and didn't matter how hard the day got or whatever they were going through, he would always have a smile. How's everything going? Good morning, everyone. And then you knew that they were having the hardest day, but always with a smile and with that energy that I think that for a producer is very important. So, and DJ as a producer was beautiful to watch because he was like, bah, 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 bah.
And I have to say too about David that, David and I have also been, kind of the own, like on the creative side, not that David doesn't have creative input as well, but like, Shaheen and Austin and the actors, we've gone and done our thing, but like David and I have been, he stayed on like unpaid as a producer on the film. So, we split all the music supervising duties, which is a morass that I would never wish on anybody. And, all of the kind of post-producerial duties, and we're constantly in touch about that stuff. And, it's, I'm just really grateful to everyone that, it's for all the challenges of making the movie. It's like, I'm so fortunate to have worked with these people, because they bought in and they continue to make the movie with me when they had no reason to. And that means a lot to me personally. So
we drank your Kool-Aid, brother. That's the way it is. On a movie of this budget, especially, we all have to drink the Kool-Aid.
I hope some audience somewhere will also drink it.
They're going to love it. I know it.
I was just about to say, I think like all of this love and collaboration and like, synergistic working together, it like really comes across on screen. I think you guys have made something honestly magical. I think it's really going to connect with people. It connected with me. I love it. I'm a huge fan.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're going to have huge fans in our audience. I am so excited for them to see it and for you to get to see their reactions in real time with this like watch party. So, if anybody doesn't have a link to the Discord to like watch that go down live, make sure to shoot me an email. Andrew has my email. We'll make sure that you are able to join in there. People will have questions and they will want to heap tons of praise on you, because this is just phenomenal. So
when is that? Do we know?
Yes.
The 25th.
Okay. Andrew, can you email me about this?
Yes.
I'm leaving.
I also want as we're shouting out all the actors, everyone is so incredible, and you couldn't replace anybody. You couldn't replace the person in the cast. The whole thing would fall apart. And it was such a joy to work with them, even as frustrating as some of the setbacks could be. It was such a joy to work with all of them, and to put essentially just to put this thing in their hands, that like I kind of don't ever want to work with anyone else again. I get attached in that way too, and creatively, and but I also want to say, like Marisé and Maya, like there is no, those were challenging roles to finally cast, and it took a lot of is this ever going to work kind of feeling, and to get there. But then once I saw both of them, and this was the other thing, like doing this all on tape is really, really hard for me. I don't feel comfortable on a Zoom. I don't feel comfortable meeting people through computers or even talking. That's why I can talk to someone for 6 hours, if I'm having coffee with them. And I would love to do more of that. Like, that's one of the things I missed, is that, in pre-production, not being able to have that kind of one-on-one thing with everybody and feel like we had a bond and a rapport and a creative understanding going in. But ultimately, it didn't matter because everybody was so great. But all that is to say, but when I saw the two of them, it was like, those were nights like where I could then like go to sleep and like, pending them saying yes, and
I can second that. He contacted me immediately and was like, these are the people for these roles. And I'm like, good, Andrew, go.
There will be no conversation.
Well, I didn't even know that. So it's really nice to hear, guys. And then,
yeah. No, it was real quick. It was like a very challenging, for that particular role, you kind of have to, ride a very particular line. Well, as everybody did, but, and I saw a lot of people on tape, and no offense to them, but I remember watching a lot of these performances that weren't live, they're just tapes, and I felt like, oh shit, man, I fucked up. Like I am the worst writer, and it was not their fault. It was just like, you know, when somebody gets it, they get it, and that's the thing. And I remember I'd had a long period of that, and then Harriet apparently had the same manager as you did, and they said, hey, you want to read for this little role in this weird movie? And I got, like, at the end of a day of despair, I got that tape, and I was like, just utter relief. It was so great. Anyway.
That's amazing. It was really well felt filming. You mentioned before the trusting your team, and that was really well felt. Because, you know, I just came in with no rehearsal or anything, and it's just like, okay, go. And I felt the trust that you've put in me and in everyone around. And it was so, I guess, comforting in a way. Yeah. And reassuring. And for me coming in, I felt very well taken care of. First of all, I fell in love with the script like everybody else. Everyone mentioned it already. But then when I arrived to set and I saw the actual sets is when I went, oh, I'm in good hands. It's a low budget film and this looks freaking incredible. I know the world that I'm in just by looking around, and that was an amazing feeling.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
I know a lot of you Andrew. I know a lot of you have said that you haven't seen the movie. I haven't seen the final cut with the full VFX and the locked music, but I've seen the movie. And you guys are fucking fantastic. I'm not no blowing smoke. I can't imagine anybody in these parts. I got it, but you can't really get it because we're not in Andrew's brain. But when you see it, you're like, I'm so proud of it, and I'm so proud of you, and I can't wait for you to see it because you're going to be proud of it, and I know it, and that makes me so fucking happy. I love you guys so much. For real.
Thank you, DJ. Yeah. And
anything else I didn't ask about that you want to share? Any particular memories from set or?
I just want to say one quick thing to Margaret. Like I've been a fan of Margaret for, you know, since like I was a kid, so incredible. And I was really intimidated. First of all, I was completely shocked that she would say yes, because I went over to DJ's and I had this like very short list of people, and like number one was Margaret, and he's like, I know Margaret. And I was like, she'll never do it, you know? And I was like so excited, and then I was like terrified, like, you know, and no, but it was so easygoing. I only wish we got to kind of like spend more time together and sink into it. And but you know, she brought this incredible like Ruth Gordon-esque kind of performance that I love, and I just think,
and also I think Marisé fell in love with Lucia.
Yeah,
I did too.
Lucia, look at that! Look at that face! How can you not? It's incredible.
Thank you. I love working on it. We had such a good time. I can't wait to bring this to the world. It's so fantastic.
Here.
We all should be very proud. Congratulations! You made a movie. You made a great movie, and we just thank you for premiering with us and for joining us tonight to talk about it.
Thank you so much, Ashley. Thank you for having us.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
I got to love all of you.
Great seeing everybody.
Love you.
Love you guys.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.